euthanasia.
So good evening, friends. Meeting again in session of Materia Medica with new drug we have to start with. Yesterday we have finished one more polycrest and now again we have to go another polycrest. All those remedies which we are discussing from the second year syllabus, all are polycrest. There are many more which are polycrest and which are having a big value because they are well proved remedies. And every well proved remedy has its own
Low voice, sir.
hello, hello, hello,
आवाज कमी आहे.
hello, hello.
Hello. Okay, sir.
ठीक है? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So every well proved remedy is very useful in our practice because we are confident while prescribing well proved remedies. Those remedies which are not well proved, we cannot prescribe confidently. And that's why all those remedies, Arsenic Album, sulfur, calcarea carb, lycopodium, Hepar Sulphuricum, silicia, all those polycrest which we are discussing and which we have discussed already are of big significance in homeopathic practice. And that's why we must know every aspect of those remedies. So one of such a remedy, very chilly remedy from our Materia Medica, we're going to learn today's session is Hepar Sulphuricum. Hepar Sulphuricum, it is again a calcium sulfide only. It is calcium and sulfur. Both comes together. But before entering into the Hepar Sulp, I want to share few cases. In fact, I will share two known cases in my practice. And Hepar Sulp I used to use very commonly for that purpose. The young lady who came to me with a recurrent breast abscess, and this was fourth time she came to me. Before that, she has opened the abscesses three times, had done the surgical intervention, and fourth time she came, and there was an induration, severe induration. Already she went to the same gynecologist. She has put the needle over there, and nothing came out. Nothing came. So what happened? Her relative brought her to me, and she said that she's in a severe depression because of that. She was frustrated, in fact, because of that, and induration was so painful. And that lady gynecologist asked her to come again tomorrow, and we'll do it operated again. And she was in a depressed mood, frustrated mood. That fourth time again to open, and she was not ready. So she was there in front of me and having a tremendous fever. Along with that, she was in a little bit toxic state because she was getting off and on that within span of 2 3 months, three times operated and fourth time again due for operation. And she was so disturbed that what has happened in my life. And it was very difficult in duration over there, as if it has been matured, then it will rupture and the pus will come out. That type of situation was there. Patient was tremendously chilly. That was summer, and even though during summer she brought completely covered with the shawl, and she came to me. So that was one important thing which was there in her case. Second important thing, to ripen the abscess, always utilizes the Hepar sulf in low potency. So Hepar in 6 potency I used to use, and it is wonderful remedy. If you give the Hepar sulf 6 in repeated doses, it ripes the abscess along with Silicia 6,6 from biochemistry. And I have given that to the lady. I have started it on day 1. Second day in the afternoon, there was a phone call from her relative that she got the abscess opened and the pus was coming, and nearly about half of the glass pus was came out. And she was telling that what to do, doctor. whether to go to surgeon or whether to come to you. Asked her to bring her immediately over here and let us see. And when she came, the whole abscess was drained, completely taken out. Nothing remained inside. I have done the calendula dressing and kept it closed with the pad. And within span of 7-8 days, it completely healed from inside. And she recovered thereafter. No more abscess has happened, and she recovered completely there. So it's a wonderful remedy to open the abscess. In low potency, Hepar should be repeated, and along with silicia is a wonderful remedy from biochemic which helps this process. So this is my practical experience. I used to use it for such times. So any patient who with a boil or indirected boil or a carbuncle is there, and to open that Hepar in low potency, if you repeat, it breaks that open, and it is a natural channel through which, if it comes out, thereafter even scar never remains. So it disappears completely without leaving a scar over there. And that's a wonder of Hepar Sulf in such types of cases. So that one thing I want to share with you. Second important thing, the case where I wrongly prescribed the Hepar Sulf in a heavy practice. I think I have shared that case with all of you, but many of you might not be not known. So I want to share it again. That was the only failure which I have done. In fact, mistake I have done in my practice. It was in 1997 or something like that. The patient was brought to me. Her son, who was treated by me for asthma completely, and they become whole family members of me. And that was a Saturday, and full approach was there in my OPD. And she was, as they were close to me, so she took entry from another door in my clinic, and she asked me, "Doctor, just see my tonsil, it is painful." And because of heavy OPD, I just saw, and I saw there one patch on her tonsil, which was having a pustular eruptions over there. The first was there. I never thought. I just prescribed the Hepar Sulf to her at that moment, and I have given it in high potency. The same day evening, she returned and came to me and told that my ring finger and the next finger, fourth finger, is having little bit pain and swelling. So I checked and I said, let it be. I will not give medicine directly, immediately. We'll see. She got very severe fever at night with whole body sticking, with all joints swollen. Next day, she was not able to turn in bed. Absolutely having very high grade fever with severe joint inflammations. It was within 24 hours that state has happened. So her husband came and he asked that, "Doctor, it is not possible to bring her here. Can you come and see the patient?" So I went over there. They wished to stay on third floor in front of my clinic only. So I saw her, and she was really in a worse state that she was not able to move, and with very high grade fever. We have just done the investigations and found that her ESR was raised too much, and RA was strongly positive. ASO titer was positive. So it was a very acute case of acute rheumatic fever, and which was definitely because it is a post-streptococcal, and it is a transformation from less important organ to the more important organ because of wrong prescription and wrong potency. So what to do? They said, we have belief on you. Whatever you will going to tell will follow. The third day after that, her son, who was treated by me, his birthday was there, and so they said, we have called many people after 2 days and what to do. She is in such a grave condition, whether to cancel the program or anything else, and everything has happened. So I asked, if you believe me, my suggestion is that don't give any allopathic medicine, nothing to worry about. I will give medicine and will treat that patient. I retook the totality at that time, the presenting totality. I have selected the Dalkamara and then I have started Dalkamara in that acute state. And with the help of Dalkamara, next day her fever disappeared. Swelling of the joint little bit better. She was able to turn in the bed. In fact, she was able to sit in the bed. That was the condition which has happened next day. And on third day, she came directly in my clinic. And she was really happy because next day there was a birthday program. So she brought out with the Dalkamara. Thereafter, I have treated her. I have done all her investigations after 6 months, found to be normal. In between, I have given 1 dose of natrum sulfuricum to prevent the recurrence in her case, and no more complaints. Since till today, no more rheumatoid arthritis attack. But it was a worst prescription of Hepar Sulf made the patient so worse to produce the acute rheumatic fever. So such a thing sometimes happen if we casually approaches the patient. And thereafter, I have stopped approaching casually with the patient. Unless and until I think I never prescribe. It's not directly I used to prescribe. And that is the thing which I have learned early in my practice. So this is the remedy which we have to learn from Alan's keynotes. Tomorrow we're going to learn another cases from the my practice regarding the Hepar Sulf. Let us open the Alan's keynotes. Hepar sulphuris, sulfurate of lime, CAS. For torpid lymphatic constitution, the first sentence is very important. He defines the constitution. First word, torpid, means total loss of strength. Torpor is the rubric which you know that where the total loss of strength is there. There is as if everything is lost from the body. No strength is there. That is torpid lymphatic constitutions. This is very important. Lymphatics plays a very vital role in Hepar sulphuricum because it is a remedy, suppurative remedy, and everything is drained through the lymphatics. It is a remedy which works specifically in the lymphatic system where all the necrosed material debris is transferred. And that's why the lymphatic system gets affected. So these people where the lymphatics gets affected, where the lymph nodes gets affected, where the suppuration is the characteristic, where the torpidity, weakness, strong weakness is characteristic. Persons with light hair and complexion. So light hair and light complexion, that is because of calcarea. Calcarea is having light complexion. Slow to act, again calcarea. They are slow in action. Muscles soft and flabby, again a calcarea. See, here whenever two elements comes together, you have to find it out which element defines that remedy. So calcarea element is mentioned in this specific thing. The fair light hair complexion, then the flow to act, muscles are soft and flabby. That constitution is typical of the calcarea constitution, and that calcarea is the part of Hepar sulphuricum. The slightest injury causes suppuration, given in bold, and that has a significance in Hepar sulphuricum. It is a very, very important feature. The slightest injury causes the suppuration, graphitis, the mercurius, then the sulfur, soranum. There are many more remedies. But this remedy has the capacity to open the abscesses. It is a very important remedy. Both remedies are very much necessary. Silicia in low potency also breaks open the abscess. Third remedy, murk, is also, it has been mentioned that murk is the remedy which opens the abscesses in low potency, and in high potency it subsides the abscesses. But it depends on the stage in which you are giving, whether you want to ripe it or whether you are to stop it. That depends upon the situation, and you have to decide at that time. So slightest injury causes suppuration, like graphitis and mercurius. This is where the system has been injured by the abuse of mercury. Bad effects of mercury. This is one remedy which we have to take into consideration. What is the bad effects of mercury? Bad effects of mercury means mercury was the only line of treatment for the syphilis in earlier practice. It was the mercurial preparations for the local application in the primary chancre was the treatment over there. And because of which, whenever that primary chancre gets suppressed, it used to enter inside the human body. Then it remains for some time, and when it recurs not only with the syphilitic primary chancre along with lymphadenopathy, but along with the secondary features, the maculopapular rash. Then it produces the boils, it produces the condylomata. So the all three miasmatic features used to come thereafter. So when syphilis, primary syphilis, you try to suppress, it comes out with mixed miasmatic trait. That step is the Hepar Sulphuricum step. So Hepar is very important wherever there is abuse of mercury and bad effects of mercury are there. Hepar is one of the important remedy to break food. So here only we understand the depth of remedy. The miasm is syphilitic. Hepar is most syphilitic remedy in our remedy. It is not psoric, it is syphilitic remedy basically. In diseases where suppuration seems inevitable, Hepar may open the abscess and hasten the cure. Underline this sentence. This sentence has a meaning. It is very, very, very important, and many times I have utilized this sentence. Many times in my practice. So this you have to understand very clearly. To if you want to open the abscesses, Hepar is wonderful remedy, and Hepar in low potency here. Keep it in your mind. In 6 potency is the better potency to open the abscess. So and also the repetition. Keep it in your mind that repetition is needed. Once you repeat, then it definitely works. So repetition of the doses in order to open the abscess is very much necessary, along with the Silicia 6X. So in diseases where suppuration seems inevitable, Hepar may open the abscess and hasten the cure. Now next sentence, understand, oversensitive. Oversensitive physically and mentally. So sensitive to the cold air, so much sensitive that the person in the next room opens the window and they feel chilly in his room. That much sensitivity is marked over there. No. Your question very important, sir. Even though patient is not chilly, can we prescribe Hepar sulphuricum in septicemia? Not at all. Hepar is too chilly remedy. That is the characteristic of the remedy. You can't. If patient is hot, you cannot think of Hepar sulphuricum. Not at all. Because it is strongly chilly. Once the thermal modality is strong in the remedy, you cannot think about that remedy. Opposite modality, you cannot think. So oversensitive physically as well as mentally. What is that? Mental sensitiveness is more marked. Patient is too sensitive. They gets offended easily and they fights back. There are two types of reactions. There are either suicidal or homicidal. These are the persons who used to do any extreme reaction, like mercury, Hepar is also anarchist. Because they can do anything, any bad thing. So that is very typical. And that's why they are too sensitive. Their reactions are dangerous. Oversensitive physically and mentally, the slightest cause irritates him. Slightest cause. You can never understand what has happened this with this fellow. Even minute thing and they get disturbed. This is too much sensitive regarding this. Too much chilly, too much sensitive, and extreme reactions. That is very difficult with this remedy. So oversensitive physically and mentally, the slightest cause irritates him. Quick, hasty speech and hasty drinking. Like argentum nitricum, like sulfuric acid. Here also sulf comes over there. They are hasty, they are hurried, they are very fast regarding things. This is very difficult. Activity is very much increased because all those reactions happens to be there at that level. In case of disease state, they becomes absolutely hasty, hurried. Reactions are very acute over there. So even though syphilitic miasm is there, reaction is acute. You have to understand this. It doesn't mean that such syphilitic miasm is there and it will gradually. It is very acutely working. Syphilitic miasm, acute remedy, Hepar Sulphuricum and Kali bichromicum. Don't forget. Kali bichromicum is one more acute syphilitic remedy, and Hepar Sulphuricum is acute syphilitic remedy where you can find it out instantaneous actions. Even Merck also acts as an acute many a times in syphilitic miasm. Merck, basically the Merck derivatives, Merck IR and Merck IF, those are very important derivatives which acts in an acute state in syphilitic miasm. So oversensitive physically and mentally, the slightest cause irritates him. Quick, hasty speech and hasty drinking. Patient is peevish. What is peevish? Chidkor, irritable, angry at least trifles. Small things gets angry very easily. Very easy. Hypochondriacal. Hypochondriacal state develops because of their illnesses, because of their recurrent attacks, and they become so despaired and they feel they are having something big disease, some big problem, and that state remains in their mind strongly because of their disorder. Unreasonably anxious. The question arises why this fellow is becoming so much anxious, even with the triple things. Unreasonably anxious. That is one thing one has to understand. You cannot think, you cannot reason, you cannot think why this fellow is becoming anxious about his disorder, anxious about her own disorder, and this is very typical with the Hepar Sulphuricum. Now we will think about one more paragraph. Extremely sensitive to cold air. Already we have discussed. Imagines he can feel the air if the door is opened in the next room. So sensitive. Because they are too chilly. Very chilly. So they cannot keep the hands out of the bed. They covers whole body completely. Putting the hands out of the bed causes them a coryza or sore throat. That much severe sensitivity is present in Hepar Sulphuricum. So sensitive to extremely sensitive to cold air, it is given in bold, and bold has that meaning. Imagine he can feel the air if door is open in next room, must be wrapped up to the face, even in hot weather like Soran. So you cannot understand these fellows, the Soranum and Hepar. Even in summer, they comes up with the fur cap or sweater and etc. Then you have to just ask, why do you are wearing that? And they feel I'm feeling too chilly. That's what their answer is. When you require fan or AC, and these people they like to wear the sweater, that is very difficult. Cannot bear to be uncovered. So they always wants to be covered, like Naxomica, and cannot bear to be covered is Camphora and Sickle. Even though the chili, they never likes the covering, that is the Sickle and Camphora. Nux is that much chilly. Nux cannot tolerate the chill. So sensitive. Sensitivity is very much marked with all those remedies. The Nux, the Hepar Sulphuricum, the Silicia. They are too sensitive to cold. Takes cold from slightest exposure to the fresh air, like tuberculosis. So slightest air comes, cold air comes, and they get affected. They get the coryza, they get the sore throat. Now the season will change after this rainy season. The winter starts, and when winter is at peak, and that chill which is producing a pricking sensation on your body, that chill is the causative modality of Hepar sulfuric. Patient comes again and again to you with this sore throat, coryza, cough, hoarseness, and think of Hepar sulf. And Hepar is a wonderful remedy in that specific season. You can give it in high potency, 1 or 2 doses, and it works. That is a very typical causative modality. Change of season and turning towards the cold, and that cold immediately affecting the people. On a mass scale, the Hepar is a wonderful remedy. So this is how a patient approaches to you, the constitution, then the patient's nature, and the patient's sensitivity, causative modalities. All those things matters a lot when we think about the Hepar sulfuricum. I think it's better to stop over here. So tomorrow's session will start with the particulars of the Hepar sulfuricum. I think it will require 3 lectures to complete the Hepar sulfuricum because it is a big polycrest and we have to understand the depth of Hepar sulfuricum. So whatever we have read, just go through that and read the alins again and again so that it will be fixed in your mind. Okay. So that's all for today. We'll meet again tomorrow for the philosophy session at 5:45 and 8:30 with the Materia Medica session. Generally, susceptibility is very high in such cases. The people who suffers always have high susceptibility. You have to go for high potency, but no repetition. So that's all for today. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll meet again.